Now, Storm Tracker 9 weather with Chief Meteorologist Justin Stapleton.
All right, behind me looks like what happens when I give my youngest daughter a bunch of crayons and she decides to go a little wild. She loves the color purple, but there are lots of watches and warnings going on, so let's get right out to those because I want to show you what we've got here. We'll kind of detail all of what you'll see over the next 24 hours here. So first and foremost, we have all of the white here across the Cascades. These are winter storm warnings and winter storm watches, and those extend all the way through Sunday morning in anticipation of what is going to be some heavy snow. Not at first, it'll be rain, but it will change over to snow. In addition, what we've got is we've got wind advisories. That does include the entire Willamette Valley for strong winds starting late tonight, and then again a second shot once the front moves through. And we have high wind warnings that extend all the way through the coast range and will work their way over in towards some of the western edges of the valleys as well. So we got a lot going on over the next 24 hours. We've been saying this is going to be our first big winter storm and certainly first one of 2014. So most of the warm front that's coming through now, and that's kind of the more steady rain as opposed to the real violent stuff, which happens with the cold front. That's all pushing up into western Washington. You can see Portland, the northern coast, still getting some scattered to steady rain and a little bit of snow up into the Cascades. Snow lines have been rising. They'll be up to around 7,000 feet tonight, but they'll come crashing down quickly by tomorrow afternoon in anticipation of this, a very well-defined area of low pressure. We always talk about it looks like a Cinnabon. There you go. That's a pretty strong one. The center of this low will continue to deepen or strengthen, which will just get the winds out ahead of that much stronger for late night tonight. And then once the front passes itself, we'll get what we call post-frontal winds, and that's when the pressure starts to change again as high pressure moves in quickly, and that will get another round of some strong winds by tomorrow afternoon and evening. Temperatures, as you might expect, are going to be very mild. In fact, this is likely what we'll sit at midnight tonight, which will probably be the high for tomorrow. As the front moves through, we'll see things come crashing down in terms of the temperatures as well. So the wind's getting stronger tonight. Heavy rain and windy early tomorrow morning, and then we'll be breezy, and then the snow starts to pick up. In fact, we could be looking at heavy snow and blowing around as well across the passes. By Sunday, things slowly start to taper off. So the cold front's still pretty far offshore. This is the warm front moving through now, so we're going to see a nice concentration of some strong gusty conditions out ahead of that. And let's take it hour by hour through our stormcast over the next 24 hours. Stopping at around 5 o'clock in the morning, that's when we'll see the bulk of the rain coming through. It will be very heavy at times, possibly 1 to an inch and a half, and then look at the snow really start to pile up in the Cascades. Scatter wet weather, and we'll see a possibility for some isolated thunderstorms too with a very convective nature. Now look at the snow totals from this. That puts it anywhere from about 1.5 feet to maybe 2 feet or even more as you get up around the ski resorts. This is the weekend, hopefully, for both Hoodoo and Willamette Pass to be open, and certainly will open everybody else, most of the other runs as well. So high wind and surf warnings out. We've got heavy rain expected. The winds should slowly start to wind down late tomorrow evening. This is going to be a very windy event for the coast. Could see wind gusts in excess of 60, 70 miles an hour late tonight and early tomorrow. Temperatures in the low 50s, morning rain and breezy across the Umpqua. Again, 1 to 2 feet of snow. It will be blowing as well across the Cascade passes. So tomorrow night's going to be real tricky getting over the mountains. Wintry mix and high winds expected in central Oregon as well. In the Willamette Valley, around 50 degrees. And again, we'll be in the 40s by late afternoon. Very windy and wet morning. Should be tapering off some by the afternoon. Whew, and then things quiet down, guys, as we get into next week. We'll see high pressure move back in. As you might expect, with that strong of a storm, it's going to be a fairly good bridge of high pressure moving in. But that does mean that we'll see the fog back in the forecast for the valleys, and we'll also see a beautiful skiing conditions Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. If you got time to burn, I'm telling you, those are the days to get out to the mountains because all that powder is going to be up there, and it will be glorious. Otherwise, a windy start to our weekend, and then our old friend, the fog, is back as we dry out for most of next week.
I think people are going to make time to get some skiing in.
If I could, I would. I mean, it's going to be glorious.
All right.